This is Front Up. I'm Dan Drake. We have two special guests with us today. One of them is Marjan Shirzan, the Director of Visitor Experience at the Nantucket Historical Association.
Hi, Dan.
And Claire White, who's the Manager of Education at the NHA. We thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the things that are going on, particularly in the winter. We've just been hearing about some of the other organizations' winter programming, and you have some stuff that's directed particularly towards children as well as towards the adults, and love to hear about them. Claire,
Sure.
what's going on?
So every day after school, Monday through Friday this winter, we have a program called Winter Discovery Days that takes place in our Discovery Room at the Whaling Museum, which is our room that's purposely made for family and youth programming. We are doing that every day in February and March, so the program runs through March 28th. It's 3 to 5, so it's perfect, right after school, get the kids home for a snack, and then come on down to the Whaling Museum. And we have craft activities.
What age group?
Well, we cater to ages 3 to 11, and we try to make tiered activities. So we have activities that you can participate in as young as 2 or 3 years old, and then we'll usually have another craft that's aimed at a little older group of children.
And how many are you getting for this on average?
Well, it really depends. Nantucket, we're lucky that unlike, maybe 10 years ago, there are so many different after-school programs now. So depending on what day of the week it is, we may have 10 kids because of, ice skating and Krav Maga and all of those other things, and we might have many more than that on some days.
So but you have capacity.
We do, yes. Yes, we have comfortably had, up to, I think, 40 or 50 kids on some of our vacation days. Yeah.
What does it, first of all, does that go right through the end of the school year?
It goes through March 28th, and then we pick back up the week of April vacation, which is April 21st through the 25th. And we try to do it right in that time, before a lot of the spring intramurals start back up, and everyone's looking for things to do, not necessarily outside. We have the opportunity to provide a nice, warm, cozy space in the winter.
Good. What else are you doing for the kids? I hear rumblings about overnights and all kinds of things like that.
Yes. So starting 2 years ago, we started an overnight program with the Nantucket Elementary School 4th graders. It's called Night Watch. And the 4th graders come for one night and they do a whole, they're essentially on a whale ship for the whole evening, a little bit of imagination, and then they sleep on the...
Or not.
Or not, as more often than not happens for a lot of them. Yep.
It's one of the greatest things that I think we've resurrected from the NHA programming world. We'd done it in different ways, different formats a couple of years ago, and under Claire's leadership, it's revamped. It's more fun than ever. It has tie-ins to the mass curriculum frameworks. So this whole idea of what do, we like to share and bring alive Nantucket history. How do we do it in the absolute most fun way possible? It's irresistible. Has
there been any demand to do it for the 5th grade again?
Well, the 5th grade, it's funny because the first year's 4th graders are now in the 5th grade, and what they do in the 5th grade is take a trip to the old mill, and this is a thing that they've done for a number of years. And this year at the old mill field trip, which is in the middle of the school day, they said, "Can we just stay the whole afternoon? Can we sleep over here tonight? You let us do it at the Whaling Museum." And that's exactly what we want to hear, We want to have children in the community really think of the Whaling Museum, not just as, of course we are a museum and we've got all of the standard stuff that any museum has, but we want to be thought of as a community resource, and I think that that the kids on island are starting to see what our goals are, which is great.
Good.
And it really makes it relevant. It's all about revering and bringing to light the special place that we live on, the special island that we live on. And why does it matter? Right? It's the fundamental question of, we could be living anywhere, but you as fourth graders are unlike other fourth graders. You live in a very special historical place. And if you allow us to take you on this whaling journey, or in the case of the new school, a walk back through time, which is all we'll say, we want to bring that message clearly home and have it resonate in people's hearts. It's all about, winning hearts, and history is fun.
It is fun. So. It's great fun. So what do you do in the winter, Marjan?
Well, we keep very busy. We have an amazing team. I'm lucky that Claire lets me sleep over. So for the overnights, I have a nice my Arctic sleeping bag from Adventures of a couple of years ago. So I do like to bring that out for the kids and show them what it was like to live in colder temperatures. Luckily, the Whaling Museum is heated. But we've been on a roll. It's all happening. 2014 is shaping up to be busier and more exciting than ever, and I'm thrilled to talk about today, if you'll allow me, History Quiz Bowl, which is happening on Saturday, March 8th, Saturday evening. It's the 5th annual, and we are thrilled to announce that this year's Quizmaster is going to be none other than WCAI's Mindy Todd, and she'll be making the trip over, and they'll have a team competing in the competition. We will also have Nantucket's own Harvey Young with a microphone, working the crowd like no other for the audience participation questions, and generally helping us MC the evening. And a couple of fun twists this year. The one is that the feedback we'd gotten was that some people may have felt a little bit out of their league in terms of, how do I prepare for this quiz bowl? We want to participate, but what's the best way? There's so much to know. So we've made it easier than ever. And the challenge is to use Nat Philbrick's Away Offshore as your resource. The single resource. The questions will be derived from the book. It's a great way to have people sort of read up on their Nantucket history, right? But it'll give it a sort of cleaner scope. And the next thing that we've done is we are going to implement NHA lifelines. So just like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you'll have the opportunity, you don't have to by any means, but teams of two.
Can we phone Nat?
It's the next best thing. So the idea being that we, again, can offer our NHA interpreters, our guides, as a resource. They will have brushed up on Nat's book, and they will be there to help their respective teams. You pick them on the night of, so it's all very official, and they'll be numbered, and just proudly helping along in the fun and the festivities. And again, as always, we try, this is early March. We know what it's like after a long winter, and it's all about, again, inserting fun with facts. How do we help the community have a really great night? It's free as ever to be in the audience. There's lots of opportunities to win prizes, and teams are still $50 to participate, and we've got some sponsorships available if folks need that. So it's really, really exciting, and the legacy continues. It's the 5th year. Well, and lots more to come. We're thrilled to be a part of the community and to share it.
And you have your brown bag lunches?
They start tomorrow.
They start tomorrow?
Yep.
Well, it'll be actually next week before this gets up. So,
yes, so they start February 13th, and they go all the way through May.
Who's going to be February 20th, for example?
It'll be Alfie Sanford.
It will be Alfie Sanford.
Yes.
That's right.
And any questions, of course, we always list them on NHA.org for up-to-date programming, and Alfie will be talking about some of his transatlantic adventures on Impala.
That'll be great fun.
It will be great.
Well, there's a lot going on. I'm sure there's more that you could talk about, but unfortunately, the tape is only so long.
Thank you for having us.
Marjan and Claire, thank you very much for being with us from NHA.
Thank you.
Thanks.